Hey guys, Cidsa here. As I was pondering useful topics for game collecting, I hit upon the idea of rarity versus popularity, and how the general idea that rarity equals expensive is not always true. It's a bit of a weird thought, isn't it? Usually when you're talking about collectibles, be it antiques, records, games, comics, what you name it, the common wisdom is usually the rarer something is, the more valuable it is. The reality, though, is that while there are plenty of extremely valuable rarities out there, there are many, if not more, rarities that aren't worth really anything at all. And why would that be? Well, think about it like this. Something is rare, it tends to be fairly obscure and thus not very well known. When it's not very well known, not a lot of people are looking for it. Therefore, the price stays low. Even though it's super rare and there aren't that many in existence, if people don't want it, then the price doesn't go up. In video games in particular, I found that popularity is probably the #1 thing that makes the prices go up. A close second that would make the prices go really high is when you get into really rare things like prototypes or championship cards. To show you exactly what I mean, let's compare two games, Fatal Frame 3 and Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII was, at the time of its release, one of the best-selling games ever made, and it sold millions of copies. Fatal Frame 3, on the other hand, was extremely niche and is rumored to have sold only about 40,000 copies in North America. Far less. It's much, much rarer in comparison. Now, with the rarity equals more expensive mindset, you'd think, oh, Fatal Frame 3 costs more, clearly. But you'd be wrong. Right now, both games are sitting at about the exact same price, and to really drive this point home further, back before Final Fantasy VII was available on PSN and the PC, specifically on Steam, the Black Label version of the game was selling for well over $100. Over $100 for a game that sold millions. So why did this happen? Well, like I said, Final Fantasy VII is a much more popular game, thus the demand drives the price up. And the reason it's more popular is because it has a much broader fan base. Final Fantasy is a much more well-known series, and RPGs tend to sell a little better than horror games in general. So now the important part, how do you use this knowledge to get a great deal on collecting games? For starters, it helps to know what's rising in popularity and what's falling in popularity. Going after stuff that isn't currently in the limelight will save you tons of money in the long run, especially when that comes back around to being popular again. You already got it, so good job. I personally did this when Earthbound wasn't super popular. I got the entire thing, boxed, complete, very minty, for $150. Now, it's pretty hard to get even just a cart for $150. I saved myself a hell of a lot of money there. This factor is another thing to keep in mind if you want to sell any of your games. When stuff is becoming super popular again, that's when you should try to sell. Another thing you can do is use popular games as a sort of stepping stone to find other games that you may not have heard of before that are just as great. Say you want a PlayStation 1 RPG, but you don't want something like Final Fantasy VII or Chrono Cross. Checking out other RPGs on the same system can yield awesome games like Jade Cocoon or Thousand Arms. Heck, if you just want to stick to Squaresoft, you can find something like Brave Fencer Musashi. One of my favorite collecting sites out there is called Racket Boy, and I highly recommend this site for their hidden gems section specifically. Check this link below and they've got tons and tons of recommendations for you to check out. I know this stuff's pretty basic economics, but sometimes it's easy to forget that games follow the same trends as everything else. So what do you think? Is popularity a factor you've considered before, and is it one you'll consider in the future? Are there any other topics about collecting you'd like to know about? Let me know and I'll try to answer them for you. If you like this video, please give it a big old thumbs up and subscribe for more of these types of videos and gaming reviews and more. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!